Hello everyone, my name is Grimspace and welcome back to Minecraft. Now I missed Wednesday's video because a lot of my footage got corrupted, and so this is just me salvaging what I can. And in this video I'm going to be covering up that iron farm because honestly it's very ugly to look at, and I want to go with more of a tower type build with it and clean up the area around it a little bit if I have the time. And also over here in this box, I have a couple of villagers that started breeding, and I want to be able to start moving them elsewhere, as well as start getting some trades set up. Maybe get a mending villager if I can. Anyway, for this build, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to stick with the color palette that I already have going, with the deep slate and the cherry planks. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can gather those materials and see where they are. And of course, it wouldn't be a true Grimspace video if I didn't go ahead and randomly start doing something else, like collecting wheat so that I can start breeding up the animals. You're gonna see that a lot in my videos. I get distracted pretty easily, but there's a reason for it. There's a reason why I'm doing this. It is so that I can start collecting wool to create beds so that the villagers can breed a little bit more. I already have a surplus of seeds, so I went ahead and threw those away. And now I am going to go ahead and start cutting down my big mess of cherry trees so that I can collect the planks. Because I found out that I definitely did not have enough for this project. Never mind that there's an entire chest of supplies from the original house build that I hadn't even bothered checking yet. And a lot of this video, I'll admit, is a little bit last minute recording. I have recently been distracted by another new game that had just come out. I don't know, I'm not going to say too much about it, but if you don't know what Polia is, look it up. It's very fun. I really enjoy it. It just came out for the Switch. It's a lot of fun. Really recommend. The style of build I want to go with for this one is kind of like a tower and a little house attached to it. I'm not really planning on doing too much of an interior with it, mostly because I'm a little too worried of iron golems spawning where they're not supposed to. So it's probably just going to be stick to a facade style of build, not too much interior. After collecting the amount of wood that I think I will need, I went ahead and headed back down into my mining area and started collecting up a lot of deep slate as well as other materials like diorite and more tuff. I want to make sure I have a good amount of those blocks, because I use tuff for a lot of surprisingly I use tuff a lot, so I want to make sure I have a good amount of it and a huge amount of deep slate as well. And the reason why I'm collecting diorite is because I'm planning on using a mixture of diorite and calcite for the roof. I wanted to give like try a little bit of a different palette and style. And here are all of my gathered materials, as well as a stone cutter and an empty chest for extra bits. And here I have a dirt outline. It's about the size I want. The build should fit a little snug in there, but that's kind of how I want it. I don't want to risk the chance of the iron golems spawning where they're not supposed to. I should have collected enough deep slate to make the basic outline, and I went ahead and collected a few stacks of the cherry logs so that I can make as many planks and other decorative features as I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on building. Now here we are standing in the finished tower. The building process is the part that got corrupted. I lost all of my building footage, which is unfortunate. But I went ahead and replaced the scaffolding with a series of hoppers and chests so that it can all kind of build up and stuff, because this farm isn't really going to see a lot of attention. It's just going to be working in the background, so any backlog can go ahead and get stored in all those chests and hoppers. I'll probably go ahead and grab those poppies at some point and use them in a composter so that I can get some bone meal so that I can make some bones. And we're going to ignore that. Anyway, like I said before, I left the inside kind of empty just to not risk any unwanted spawning. And it's a pretty simple build. It is just a facade. I'll probably fix a few things on it, add a little bit more detail to the tower. Maybe add some trapdoors or something like it. I had to put buttons on the roof to keep them from spawning on top of there. Now, the roof of the tower is a little bit small. I think it could be a little bit bigger. I'll probably fix that at a later date. I like the coloring. I like the... yeah, and that happened. I was at 20 levels too. It's so upsetting. But I like the pattern of what I did with the calcite and the diorite. I think I'll continue that in other builds. Maybe I'll replace the ceiling, not the ceiling, the roof of my base with the calcite and the diorite. I really like the look. Here, unfortunately, is another jump in the recording. For some reason, it didn't record at all whenever I was moving the villagers, as well as making a melon and a pumpkin farm so that I can start trading with the farmers so that I can get more emeralds. I am happy to report, though, that the two villagers that I turned into librarians are in fact mending and silk-touched villagers, which is absolutely fantastic for me. And actually, it didn't really take me that long to get mending at all, which, you know, is absolutely fantastic. Normally, people are just like re-rolling over and over again for mending, and I'm just so happy I didn't have to go through that. If we hop over here, I have already created, hopefully is an easier method. Well, it's hopefully an okay method to getting the villagers. I went ahead and just separated the two villagers that will be breeding, and the idea is the baby villagers will move over to the area with the beds, and they'll grow up before they go back over to the others. And then they'll remain separated, and then all I have to do is send in a minecart to go and pick them up. And like I said before, I went ahead and turned those poppies into bone meal. You know, for the little bit of time I spent on there, it actually created a decent amount of iron for such a little farm. And I'm not really planning on doing any major projects yet, so there's definitely enough time for it to build up. And also, good news, I found a little cat. Other than the different eyes, the color pattern actually reminds me a lot of Mallow. She's very sweet. I'm very happy with her. She's so cute. I love Minecraft cats. They're so adorable. And I have her sitting on the bed so that at night I can sit her up, and then she'll lay on top of me and she'll bring me a little gift at night, in case you didn't know. Now here I am climbing back up to the top of my really poorly made mob farm so that I can have a new location for my nether portal. I thought that maybe being this high up and this far away from the original portal spot that I might be able to get at least a different, maybe more decent location for my portal. And plus, being this high up, I figured it would be far enough away that maybe perhaps not a lot of zombie piglins will spawn from the portal, and plus then you don't have all those spooky portal noises right next to where you do most of your stuff. As I'm planning on moving the mob farm a little higher up anyway, about the same level as where I am building this platform here for my nether portal. It's about where I want the bottom of the mob farm to be, like the collection area for it. I just want to move it like way further up into the air just so that things just so that I'm not within the spawn radius of things on the ground. That way, whenever things spawn around me, they'll be spawning in the actual mob farm where they're supposed to. It is a little spooky up there. I'm definitely going to be adding some handrails later on. I also brought with me a very bright block that I'm planning on using as kind of like a breadcrumb trail in the nether so that I don't lose my way, because that is something I'm very, very prone to do. I get lost very easily in the nether. I get lost in the overworld. It's it's very easy for me to lose my way. It would be nice to make maybe like a lodestone just for like my base area, instead of having to constantly check the coordinates, because checking coordinates in Java is a little bit of a headache because you have such a like the moment you hit F3, it's just a giant wall of text. It's very distracting. Once this portal is complete here, all I have to do is light it. And I went ahead and added the dye right in the corner just so that it looked nice. Checking my inventory, and I realized that I forgot my flint and steel, but I'm not gonna let this trip up to the top of the mob spawner go to waste. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my silk touch hoe and just start collecting all of the tinted glass, as well as placing torches down in the farm so that things don't spawn up there with me. I made all that tinted glass, and I'm not about to let it go to waste. I'm probably going to put it towards the next mob farm I make. Maybe I'll use it for something else. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out when we get there. Now, after creating a little bit of railing to keep myself safe, I'm gonna go ahead and light the portal, get the blocks ready, and as well as the shield, and see where this puts us. It always takes a while to load. I want to say it is because of my really bad laptop that I'm recording on. And would you look at that, I'm right back in this same spot I was before. I got so close to falling in the lava there. I would have been so mad. I am actually a little bit upset that I am in the same exact spot where the portal spawned in before. I'm just digging a little safety hole here for myself so that the gas doesn't see me. I think would have rather spawned, like, I don't know, maybe in the middle of one of the giant structures there, instead of just like out in the open like this, because this is a very, very dangerous spot, especially since this there's going to be a lot of like piglin spawns here, right? Do the piglins spawn more in the wastes and crimson forests? Or is their spawn reached about the same everywhere? I don't think it's the same in the warped forest. I think it's just the crimson and the nether wastes. I think they spawn most in, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I'm just making sure that a good barrier is made so that there's no chance of a ghast firing at me and destroying the portal. Because that would be a pain. And at this time, I also realized that I once again came into the nether without any type of gold armor on my person. So that's another thing that I have to watch out for. But I came to the nether to kind of set up a good spawn point like this, and then if I did end up spawning in the same area, that I would be more prepared to cover myself and to also search for some quartz and glowstone dust. Maybe also a few magma while I'm at it so that I can make some fire resist potions once I find a fortress. But out of all areas in Minecraft, the nether probably scares me the most. There's a lot in here that could really mess up your day. And knowing my track record, I can't believe I got that close to the edge. It was mostly to see what was going on around me. Mostly in that area you see nothing but the wastes. So I went ahead and covered that up so that I don't accidentally fall in that area. And I plugged it up with diorite so that I know not to go in that direction. I started mining in just a random direction until I was able to find some quartz or anything that I could use, because I really need a lot of quartz because of the types of farms that I want to build in the future. I'm going to need a lot of observers, as well as now that I have mending on my sword and one of my pickaxes, because I was able to get 2 books. Mining the quartz will be able to help quickly mend my tools, because the spider farm is it works, but it's a little too slow for my liking. And I believe you just get a little bit more XP with quartz anyway. I went ahead and mined up some of that gold as well, so that I can go ahead and make myself maybe like a pair of gold boots. And that's another moment where I could have potentially fallen into lava. Oh my goodness, this area is so dangerous. It stresses me out so much. What was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, get some gold ingots to trade with the piglins. Maybe I'll be able to get some fire resistant potions from them as well, and maybe also some soul sand so that I can use it potentially for water elevators and farms. There's a lot of things that I need in the nether. I'm just too scared to go out in it, but I'm not gonna get anything done unless I just do it. Digging up like this is a huge risk because that's basalt and I'm right next to a basalt delta, so I'm very, very lucky I didn't mine up into lava. After taking a good look around, I went ahead and started digging upwards so that I can explore a little bit of the area around me. So on one side I have the wastes, on the other side I have a big basalt delta. I've never really had the best luck when it comes to nether spawns anyway, so I kind of expected this. So it's just going to take a little bit of careful maneuvering to find my way through this area so that I can find a fortress and perhaps also a bastion so that I can get a template. Let me know how you'll feel about them switching to needing a template to get netherite armor and tools. I personally am on the fence about it because netherite is probably like the strongest and most like OP armor and tools you can get. So making it a little harder to get does kind of make sense. But at the same time, they're making you go into one of the most probably dangerous areas of the Nether to go get it. And it's super expensive to replicate. Like, all of the armor trims are super expensive to replicate. I understand that for like armor trims and stuff like that, but for the upgrade template, I'm just not sure. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I really want to hear your opinions on that. Keep it nice in the comment section. We're not here to, you know, go at each other. This is just a friendly discussion. I am genuinely curious about what other people think. Now that I have some glowstone dust and I'm not seeing any magma spawn around me, I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the overworld. I think I've spent enough time in the Nether to last me a good long while. It's great to be back in the overworld where it's at least semi-safe in this area. But after a trip to the Nether, I think that is enough Minecraft for me. And me and Malo here will see you all next time. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye!